Psychological filters that keep you out of the background. You could have every fragment of the map and still never access the background. Why? Because your own mind can be the most effective gatekeeper. The first filter is habitual reality confirmation. Every day, you unconsciously confirm that the foreground is all there is. The phone screen, the work task, the news cycle. This is not weakness, it's conditioning. The more you confirm the foreground, the less bandwidth you have for sensing what's behind it. The second filter is premature disbelief. When you encounter background mechanics, part of your mind will insist, this is imagination, even if you've just experienced it. This disbelief is self-reinforcing. It severs the signal by refusing to hold the state long enough for effects to anchor. The third filter is cultural ridicule programming. Modern society has a built-in defense against background awareness, mockery. Talk too openly about subtle perception or energetic influence, and someone will invoke science, not as investigation but as a shield. Ironically, real science at its cutting edge is often brushing against background principles, but the cultural narrative keeps the two apart. The fourth filter is ego misalignment. If you do break through, the ego will try to use background access for personal validation rather than refinement of signal. Ancient schools drilled humility before granting deeper techniques, not for moralism, but to prevent the student's own unconscious from corrupting the feedback loop. The fifth filter is emotional noise, the background response to coherent emotional signatures. If your emotional field is chaotic, swinging between anxiety, resentment, and craving, the signal you project will be equally incoherent, and like a garbled transmission, it will be ignored or distorted. These filters are why most people never cross the threshold, not because the door is locked, but because they've been told not to see it. Part 8. The modern portals into background influence. Contrary to what people think, you don't need to wear robes or stand in a stone temple to work with the background. Modern portals exist, and some are hidden in plain sight. First is digital symbolism. On social platforms, images and memes act like modern talismans. A viral image is a compressed symbol that spreads through thousands of minds, embedding a seed in the collective background. Most creators don't know they're doing this, but those who do can steer collective perception with surgical precision. Second is neurotech and biofeedback. Devices that track brainwaves, heart coherence, or skin conductance can replicate some of the conditions mystery schools achieved through training. You can now create entrainment states in minutes that once took initiates months to master. And the risk? Without the ethical and philosophical foundation, you're playing with a loaded circuit. Third is the group synchronization events. Whether it's mass meditation live streams, music festivals, or protest movements, when large numbers of people align attention and emotion, they create a background spike. This is why ancient ceremonies were collective. The combined signal is exponentially stronger than individual input. Number 4 is architecture as a portal. Temples and lodges were designed with specific ratios, materials, and orientations to modulate the background. Modern equivalents exist. High-resonance performance halls, sacred geometry-inspired buildings, even certain modern co-working spaces with subtle spatial harmonics. Number 5 is dream engineering. The dream state has always been a high-access environment for background work. With modern lucid dreaming techniques and sleep cycle tracking, you can map and influence the dream layer more precisely than ever and fit that into waking reality. What's remarkable is that the old and the new are not separate. They're two versions of the same architecture, one built of stone and chant, the other of code and signal. Part 9 is the dangers and ethical boundaries of background manipulation. Background mechanics are neutral, like electricity. They amplify intention, whether harmonious or destructive. That's why every genuine mystery tradition included ethical scaffolding before teaching the deeper signal work. The first danger is energetic backlash. The background is not a static field. It's a network of feedback loops. When you alter a current, you create ripples that often circles back. If your signal is incoherent or ego-driven, the return wave can destabilize your own state, leading to emotional spirals, physical fatigue, or strange coincidences that disrupt your life. The second danger is narrative entanglement. Manipulating the background to influence events binds you to the narrative you've shaped. This is why high-level adepts were cautious. The more you weave, the more you woven into the outcome. The art is to guide without anchoring your identity to the thread. The third danger is collective pushback. When your background work disrupts the existing equilibrium, you can trigger immune responses in the collective mind. In ancient times, this came as persecution. Today, it can take the form of sudden reputational collapse, algorithmic suppression, or unexpected opposition from unrelated parties. The fourth danger is perceptual distortion. Extended background work can shift your sense of reality so drastically that everyday functioning becomes unstable. The trick isn't to stay out, it's to move between foreground and background without losing calibration. This is the skill initiates called walking between worlds. The ethical core is simple. Only act when your signal is clear. The impact of proportionate and the outcome benefits more than it binds. That's not moralism, it's physics. Distorted intentions send distorted currents, and those currents always find their source. Part 10, Integration, Living with Background Awareness. Once you pierce the foreground, there is no going back. The world you see will always have a second layer, a quiet architecture humming beneath it. Integration starts with anchor points. Choose daily actions that link you back to the background, a breath ritual before speaking, a geometric focal point in your workspace, a color or symbol that keeps your awareness tuned. These are not superstition, they're calibration tools. Then comes signal hygiene. Just as you wouldn't leave your door open to the street, you don't leave your emotional field wide open to every influence. Regularly clear the residue of collective noise through meditation, movement, sound, or solitude. This ensures your signal remains distinct from the ambient static. Living with the background awareness changes how you navigate people. You'll notice their words are only a fraction of their signal, and their unspoken patterns are far louder. You may find yourself speaking less, listening more, and choosing your alignments with surgical precision. You also stop chasing certain goals. The foreground tells you success is accumulation. The background shows you success is alignment. Instead of asking, how do I get this? You begin asking, what current am I feeding? The latter shapes the former without the friction. And perhaps the most profound shift, you realize you're not separate from the architecture. You are part of the field, part of the feedback, part of the song. Working with the background is not about control, no. It's about co-composition. When ancient initiates spoke of becoming a master, they didn't mean dominating the unseen. They meant becoming so integrated that your signal harmonizes with the deeper currents, shaping without strain, moving without distortion. From here, the path doesn't end, it deepens. You stop searching for secret rooms and start recognizing that the background was never hidden from you. It was waiting for you to see it without the filters. And once you do, the world becomes what it has always been, a living, responsive architecture, inviting you to play your part in its design.